Welcome to shul.com. There is a beautiful Hachaim Palacci. It's found in 27-35. I'm going to read to you a beautiful piece. He brings in the beginning the Moreh Be'etzba of the Chida, talking about why a person should avoid fighting on Friday afternoon at home, with family, with wife, with kids. Before we begin, why is it that generally at this time of the week does suddenly everyone get into an argument and fight, and suddenly everyone get into this phase? So one of the reasons that Rabbi Mansour brought up, which was very interesting, was that usually the Satan is busy. He's in Gehinnom. He's busy stoking up the fires and punishing all the sinners down there. The issue is that around Hatzot time, Gehinnom starts to close up because it's closed on Shabbat. And so they start to close up the gates, they start to shut the ovens down, everyone starts to pack up to go home. So the Satan, he has a lot of free time on his hands. And so suddenly he starts to look around who's doing mitzvot and starts to try to make mahlukat among them. And so because the Satan has this free time, you have to be aware that he's looking for customers. And if you've been one of his customers, I'm about to tell you he's been selling you short. So let's take a look at this famous Hachaim Palacci. So he brings the Moreh Be'etzba, like we mentioned earlier, and he says here, V'anuchi avdo musif al devarav. I'm adding on the words of the Hida. De'ani hagebe ra'a eni. I saw myself. Bechol bayit shehaya mahloket be'erev Shabbat le'et erev o bedel Shabbat. That any home that had a mahloket on Friday before Shabbat, le'et erev, before the nightfall, or on the night of Shabbat, haya badukum nuseh. It was almost, tried and tested. Kira'a neged penehem. There was some form of trouble coming up. Belo yas'u nikiim, and they didn't get freed out of it. Be'oto shavua, in that coming week. Be'ez mikrera, something lo alenu, that's not good. Dok u'shachach u'margela be'pumeh lomar libnei beti bechol davar. And so I would tell everyone in my household, that say everything in a calm way. So he says one time on a Friday night in the year, that's 575. So 5575. Shahayiti dar im shechenim acherim. This is in Turkey, by the way, in Izmir, Turkey, that he used to live, or Smyrna. So he was living amongst other neighbors. Shamati de hashachen haya oseh ketata im ishto achar kiddush al devar ma'achal. He saw his neighbors fighting with his wife on some form of food, that something, I don't know, the food didn't come out right. Tekef, right away, kamti me'al shuchani. I got up from my table, halachti v'shavti al shuchano, and I went and I sat on his table instead. And they both looked at me, they got scared. And right away they became friends again. And every time, that this guy always said thank you to me, he always appreciated me. But he used to always tell me, he said that night, he said, I didn't have any fight with my wife for years. And I wrote in the book that other people should see, and they will do. That everyone will do with his neighbor, that he should try to help his neighbor if he sees this. If he does peace between two people, a husband and wife, he said, then they're not going to make any fights, and he's going to have a lot of shalom in the world. A person should be very scared, and he should cry with bitter soul, when he reads in the books of Rabbeinu Ari, because of these little quarrels that were on Friday, that he almost died, and not good things happened. Oil לדורות יצא חסר הדר עמודה דנהורה דנסתימו ביניהם ותגבן של ישראל בעבור סיבה זו דאלה מצא ואין ספק דמי שישים זה בדעתו. Whoever is going to put this in his mind, there's no doubt, יהיה תמיד סבלן ומעביר על מידותיו ושלום יוסיפו לו. And you should be extra careful, relaxed, not nervous, and they will bring him a lot of shalom. So this is a famous ma'amar brought down from the Hachaim Palacci on a story that happened in Turkey of how he avoided a fight. And it's a segula. It's a big segula that if a person wants to have a good week, to not fight on Friday night or Shabbat, to just stay silent. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen v'Amen.